Good morning, eighth graders. I wanted to go over our weekly overview of where we've been and where we're headed. On Friday, you guys were assigned the weather maps gizmo. You guys should have completed activity A and B on Friday. And then yesterday, you completed activity C, which is the fronts part of the gizmo. This assignment is due on Wednesday, 4/22. If you already have it done, you should Dropbox it. I've already been grading them. If you need any further help on that, remember that I am always available on Google Meet, either through the app or through the website to get some help. Today, we are going to start a summative assignment. It's going to be 10 summative points, which is about half of your test grade. You're going to get 2 work days to work on it. So you're going to have today, Tuesday, and tomorrow, Wednesday. So 2 full time periods to work on it. It will ultimately be shown to your classmates on Monday, April 27th. And so really you have until Monday, April 27th to get it done, but I highly recommend getting it done these 2 days when you can get help from me on the Google Meet. In a moment, I'll be going through that assignment. On Thursday, I'm going to have you guys meet me on a live Google Meet, and we are going to do some review for our test on Friday. So you're going to have a weather test on Friday, and I will be reviewing with you live on Google Meet. And I have how to get onto that. So you could either go to the website, meet.google.com, or you can go to the Google Meet app, and you're going to use the join code that we always use, which will be ZBarth meeting. And you will join during your class time period. Okay. Then on Friday, we'll be having a Schoology test. We will be taking that unit test together as a group on Friday, and you will take it during your class time period. You will have a certain allotted time, and I will be available for any questions during that time period. All right, so let's get into our assignment for today. We are going to be doing a weather front story problem. So you guys are going to be the meteorologist giving a forecast. All right, step 1, you guys are going to pick which of the weather fronts that you're wanting to describe. I would pick the one that you feel most comfortable with and the one you feel like you really understand how that front moves and what kind of weather is associated with that front. So we have a cold front, a warm front, or a stationary front. And this reminds you of what we have talked about in our notes of how those fronts move. All right, so these are the parts that we're going to need to include. You're going to need to include what the temperature does when that front approaches the area and moves through the area and then out of the area. So you're going to need to talk about the temperature changes that the front will bring. So for example, with a cold front, you would have maybe warmer temperatures as that front's approaching. And then as that front moves into the area, it's going to bring with it colder temperatures. So you're going to talk about the temperatures before the front approaches and then as the front moves through. You're also going to talk about the weather and cloud types related to that type of front system. Okay, so we went through the notes on that. So you're going to talk about whether you're going to have some sort of like a rain cloud or just some overcast skies. Does your air mass bring with it some humidity? So it really depends on which one you're looking at. But you're going to want to talk about what kind of weather and cloud types would be related with your situation and forecast of that front moving through the area. You're also going to talk about the description of how that front moves. So does the movement of the air mass come in quickly and abruptly and shoot that warm air up? Or is it more of a gradual slope? Okay. Or does it just kind of sit there for many days? So you're going to want to describe what's happening, once again, using those notes that we went over last Thursday. And then finally, you're going to want to make sure you mention what type of pressure system we will be experiencing with that type of weather. So remember, with high pressure, we have happy skies. So is it clear and sunny and brings with little clouds? Or is it going to bring us low pressure, which would be lousy weather? So is there lots of clouds and possible rain? So what type of pressure system are we experiencing with that weather that you're talking about? Okay, so step one is going to be to find a weather map or forecast to use as a visual. You're going to use Google search to find either a weather map or a like 7 to 10 day forecast. I would use one of those to help tell your story. You're going to write the weather front story, highlighting the criteria in up above here in your story, and it's going to be color coded. So you're going to color code your temperature changes that you talk about with red. You're going to color code the weather and cloud types that you mention in orange. You're going to highlight the key phrases for the movement of your front description in green. And then where you mention whether it's a high and low pressure, you're going to outline that and color code that in blue. Okay. So the idea of this is that you're not ever mentioning the exact type of front that you're describing, but you're giving hints along the way. Then Monday, the classmates are going to read your descriptions, and then they're going to guess what type of front you are describing. This gives you a breakdown of what you can expect for each of those points. Okay, so up here it says temperature changes. You get a point for describing what the temperature is like before and then after the front moves through the area. What type of air is it bringing with it? You're going to get a point for describing accurately the type of weather that type of front would bring and the area would experience and what types of clouds we can mention. Remember, using your notes. I have all of that listed in there. You're going to get a point for accurately describing how that front moves. So is it a slow moving air mass? Is it quick? Is it severe? Is it gradual? Does it kind of stay in one place for a long time? What does it move like? Another point for the high and low pressure being described correctly. And then making sure that you have a visual aid that would go with your story accurately. Okay. Then finally, you're going to make a video of your forecast. So when you are writing out your story, that will be your script. And I'll show you here in a minute what that looks like. You're going to read your script and make a video of yourself as a forecaster. Okay. And this will be 10 summative points. So here you can see my example. So you're going to pose the question and you're going to say, what type of front? Okay. So you're going to ask the classmates what type of front you're describing. So in this case, I said, what type of front is expected to move through northern Texas before Veterans Day using the 10-day forecast? So over here, I had chosen this forecast. Okay. So I found a 10-day forecast that showed me what was happening, something I would like to describe. So then I wrote what was happening in my 10-day forecast. I said, today on Monday, we are experiencing partly sunny skies. Okay, so we're experiencing partly sunny skies on this warm 76-degree day. We are likely to experience a chance of cumulonimbus clouds. Okay, and cumulonimbus clouds then would be a low pressure system because it's lousy weather as the front plows quickly. So this comes in quickly into the area and pushes this warm air straight up into the air abruptly. This front will bring thunderstorms to the area on Wednesday and Thursday. So you can see here in my forecast, Wednesday and Thursday. The rest of the 10-day forecast will experience a drop in temperatures, even as low as 34 degrees next week, with clear skies, which are associated with a high pressure system. Okay, so then what I would do is I would take that script and I would record myself saying that script and I would embed that in my Google Slides. So you're going to be submitting 2 Google Slides. One Google slide is going to be it written out, color coded in the appropriate spots, and the other spot is going to be your video. In this video example, we used Loom, which is an application that you can put on a desktop, I believe. I'm not sure if you can use it on an iPad, or you can use a green screen application if that works for you at home to say your weather forecast, or you simply could have someone in your house record you saying it. So you could just use the picture on your iPad and then you could read off your script. However you want to make your video, you probably know of more ways than I do. You could use iMovie as well. So somehow you're going to record yourself saying your script so we can see you. And here you can see
what type of front is expected to move through northern Texas before Veterans Day using the 10-day forecast. Today,
I had my daughter record it. So you are simply going to record yourself saying your forecast. Okay, we've put some help in there for you to write your script. Remember that you're giving your classmates hints about what front you will be describing. Okay, so you're going to want to grab a picture from Google Photos to help tell your story. All right, so you're going to grab something. You're going to grab either a weather map or you can grab a 7 to 10 day forecast. You're going to want to write a question at the top. So what type of front is moving through whatever area you're describing or forecast you're using? And then you're going to use these questions here to help guide you through writing your script. It pretty much follows exactly what I had written before as your example. Okay, you're going to use our notes. So here is a 3-day forecast that I used as an example. You're going to use your notes to help decide which front do you want to describe and find a forecast for. Be careful not to have only one type of front in your picture because that kind of gives it away. So you want to make sure that you have at least a couple fronts there. Okay, these would be some examples that you could use. So you could pick like a 7-day forecast. Okay, so here we have kind of all the same types of temperatures here. Or here you can see that the temperatures get significantly colder. Okay, and then over here you could pick one of these to help describe. So you could talk about the cold front, you could talk about the stationary. Okay, and then they would have to kind of figure out which one you're talking about. Okay, in your folder then you also have a sheet that you can help walk through, which closely matches something like this. So there's a PDF in your folder that you can use to help brainstorm your way through the front. I will be available on Google Meets using the join code ZBARTH meeting to help you if you need help. So good luck, and I can't wait to see all of these.